Hi, welcome to Mark's Basement Arcade. Today we are going to be rebuilding the flippers. So let's flip the playfield over and get started. Alright, we got it flipped over. So first thing we're going to do is get the flipper off this pawl here. I think it's called a pawl. Just loosen these two screws up here, and then the flipper is probably going to drop out like it did. Dropped right out. Okay. You can actually go like that. No, not on this one. On my other ones you could. You could get the what do you call it out? The plunger out. So I guess we're gonna have to go in the back here. Oh, that's all bent up. I have to straighten that out. Are there screws on there? Yeah, just screws, no bolts. Nuts. Difference between a screw. Oh, there is a nut there. That's going to be fun. Difference between a bolt and a screw. The bolt has a head on it that you use like a socket on, and a screw has Phillips or a flathead attachment on it. There we go. Now we can get that out. This is garbage. You can see it's all loose there. That's garbage. Let me get my magnet, put it over here. Alright, this is basically the same as everything else we've rebuilt. This is garbage. You get new ones with it. Coil safe comes out. And that was in there nice and good too. Original coil sleeve. Garbage. New coil sleeve. Let's wipe that off. Take a little more naphtha. You can use alcohol too. I just happen to have the naphtha right next to me. Just gonna wipe that off. Get all nice and pretty looking again, since these are all being rebuilt. Let's get that out of the way, as we are gonna desolder some pieces. And let's get my screwdriver wherever I put it, right here. And we're gonna take flipper bushings out. These just are held in by 3 screws. Now I have seen these where people stripped out the holes, and I'll show you a little trick what you can do. Instead of repairing the holes, you can repair holes if you wish, but I will show you a trick. Let's get these screws out of here. This is actually good bushing yet. I'll save that. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just dirty. I will save that and put that in my collection in case I ever working on a machine and it just has broken bushing for some reason. That's good. But I'll show you with a new one. What you can do is, you see how the holes are right there, perfect. If you strip out those holes, just do this. There you go. You can make new holes, and then when those ever get stripped out, you can just do it one more time. Hopefully you don't He-Man these and strip them out, so you will never need to use that trick. I had that on my Gulfstream They rebuilt the flipper bushing, well, the flippers, and somehow they got this put in there cockeyed. And what that did was caused the flipper to scratch the playfield. And then when the flipper scratched the playfield, it wasn't good. So my Gulfstream, due to negligence, it got a scratched flipper because somebody wasn't paying attention when they put the bushing in, and there was like a little piece of debris from the wood that was up on that side, caused the flipper to be a little cockeyed and just kept scraping the playfield. That was a very avoidable issue. Very avoidable. So when I put these back together, I will personally go through that and look at it to make sure that there's no issues with that. Okay, let's get these out too. It makes it easier to work on the EOS switch. We were putting new ones in. These switches are actually in pretty good condition. So, but since this isn't my machine anymore, since it's been sold, I will be putting new EOS switches in because I'm rebuilding the flippers. And plus they come with them. But these switches are in actually really good condition yet. This is a good cleanup and they'll be perfect. So, I got my soldering iron over here. See how close I can get it. Perfect right there. What we're going to do is just pull these wires off. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah. That's it. Now we're going to take this off, the original bracket. Use these tiny little screws. This will just come right off here. Now we're going to make sure we put the new switch on the same way, where the short blade is here and the long blade is in the back. These have been replaced at one time or another too. You gotta save this piece too, because that's where the screws hold on. So I'm gonna lay it out like that. Get my new one. Put the screws back in and tighten them down. Then we'll tin these ends up. Tinning is where you put a little flux on them, touch a little solder on them, so they are easier to be soldered on. Make sure you use solder and flux that are good for electronics. You don't want to go out there and buy solder that you use for doing what do you call it, plumbing work. Just put a little flux on there. Got my old Radio Shack solder. We don't have Radio Shacks here in Wisconsin anymore. We're just going to touch it on there. That's one. All nice and tinned up. Let's put a little flux in the back there. go. Let's get this hole cleaned out a little bit. There we go. Cleaned out. Now we're going to take our wires, put our wires back on there. Let's see if I can actually get them in the hole. It doesn't really matter where these wires go, on what side, because all you're doing is breaking a contact. A little tug like that. I need a little solder. And I need to move my finger a little bit too. It's getting really awful warm. Why am I blowing on it? Alright, those are all nice and tight. I'm going to actually put this out of the way so I can get underneath there to put the, what do you call it in? The screws. I got my new assembly here. How's it go? There we go. And my new sleeve. Did I put my sleeve in there? No, I didn't. Why didn't I? You don't know either, do you? There we go. There. Actually, let me pick up this flipper. Where did it go? Oh, it went way over there. Okay. I really want it just to hold down on the top. That's all I really want it for. Just to hold this assembly together a little better. And word to the wise, I should unloosen them. Those are now Allen wrench. I'm guessing they're probably like 7/64 or 1/8. Let's try 1/8. Yep, 1/8. Doesn't matter if they're Allen head screws or not. It just matters that they're in there. They hold the flipper. Now the flipper's out of whack on the other side. I just need to keep the assembly together. Yeah. That's all I need. There. That's all I need it for, just to keep that together. Alright, and new flipper stop. And my battery's gonna die. So, new flipper stop. Let's change the battery. Not a new flipper stop. Coil stop. Gotta correct myself. You guys will, if I keep giving you the wrong words. Look at that. I gotta adjust that. The problem is, let's see if I can show you. These holes go way out there, and they should be further back. These screws, I have to loosen up the screws that are underneath here. Push this assembly back just a little bit. That's probably why they had that That plate was bent. Just kind of too lazy almost to move things around. So that's going to be a little more difficult for me. Now I got to loosen this flipper back up. Get this flipper out. So I can take this assembly loose. There we go. That's a flipper. That's all it is. This is just a metal cover that goes on top of it. Let's put that there. I have to move this back just a little bit. Actually, I can put that in there. And then we're gonna get my screwdriver. We're gonna move that back just a little bit. I don't know why they did it that way. Let's get those on there. This would be a bear. Actually, it did come with new screws. How are they? Let's see if I can get a new screw in there. Let me flip this display up on my camera so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. See if I get these new. Are these nutted on the bottom? No, they're not. So let's do this. Since these don't have nuts on the bottom and other ones do, let's get those out of my way. And get this out of the way. And get these new ones screwed in. Let's see how tight those even get. Yeah, that's how tight they get. That's why they were nuts on them. The joys of pinball repair. That one's in there tight. These got nylock nuts on them. This is going to be fun. That one is actually really tight. Okay, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take this whole assembly off. So I can put these nuts in from the other side. One is stripped out, one isn't, so. And these are nylock nuts. Okay, let's get those over here. That's nice, not even matching screws. One matching screw. Alright. Here we go, the bottom. This one is stripped out, and this one isn't. So I'm gonna have to tighten it down all the way, and then I'll come back in with a socket wrench. I'll tighten that nylock up against it. But this other one is stripped out. Oh no, that one's not stripped out either. I just didn't have it tightened down all the way. These are going to be fun, because I think I'm going to have to go out into the garage and get actually a smaller wrench, because I don't think I have anything that will fit it. Oh, here we go. Not driver to save the day. That's perfect. Those are all nice and tight. I'd like it just to make sure I get that a little tighter. Just might need all those pliers on it. There we go. That's tight. The nylock can't go down all the way because the post or the screw is too long. There. Alright, so that was fun. Alright, let's see if we can put this together like this. Let's get this together. We're going to put this whole assembly together and then put that pawl in. And those are off too. So let's loosen these up. See if we can push this in a little bit. Okay, that's just a test right there. And it's still not. I guess we're going to do what they did. Let's give it a little bend. Too much. Okay, that's perfect now. Alright, let's use these old screws on the front. Since they're not stripped. And let's use a magnetic screwdriver. these got nuts and bolts too. So I'm going to put them on the other end. Perfect. There. Now it's got a little bit of movement like it had when it was in there. Tight. Almost tight. Where's that Paul? It's amazing. Here we go. It's amazing how these. Look at that. How pieces will just disappear right in front of your face. Okay, let's put these screws on the bottom. Oh my God. I'm sure these are a different size too. Yep. That's alright, we'll use my needle nose pliers. Tighten them up more. We'll just get the correct size nut driver. There we go. Ta-da! Perfect. We're supposed to have just a little bit of movement on that coil, just like this one. There was just too much, so that's probably why they had the original coil stop bent. They had that one bent way too much, so. But it's doing the job. There probably was some washers in there at one time or something. Alright. Let's put these screws back. Let's get this back in there first. Good job. Where did we lose the spring to? Alright. Let's see if we can find that spring. Here it goes. It's what's nice about carpet floors. Nothing moves when it drops. Remember, we took that off. That's not going to fit back in there. So we take that whole assembly apart. We're going to use the cordless screwdriver again. Just because it holds the screws. I'm just going to use it to start it. And I'll finish it by hand. For that coil stop, all I did was put just a very little slight bend on it, just to reduce the slop in the coil, because there was way too much. Way too much slop. Those screws there, I'm probably going to have to get a regular screwdriver because it's skinnier than my universal. That I don't want, that's a junk screw. These are garbage screws. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a regular screwdriver. I'll be back in not even a minute. Ta-da! And that's when using the right part, right tool for the right job. There we go. Now we're going to take that flipper, put that back from underneath. Just to get that in there. So I don't want this whole assembly falling apart on me. And I got it tightened too tight. If you put it up in there too tight, it binds against the bushing. We're going to do that. Still not too tight. There needs to be a little gap between the flipper and the bushing. There. Nope. There's grooves on this flipper. There's got to be where it's riding into. Let's see. Yep, right there. I'm catching the grooves. These set screws aren't in the exact same spot as the original one. See if I can do this. There. Do you hear that? I can move it up and down just a little bit. I'm just tightening these up just a little bit, just so I don't lose the flipper. But that's it. There we go. Flipper rebuilt. Oh, it's going to be all brand new and working just like it did when it was brand spanking new machine. You get the EOS switches actually opening up pretty good. I got to adjust it just a little bit. That's about it. Let me see if I can adjust it real quick for you. What we're going to do, let me see how good I can get to it. Tight. Let's bring this down a little bit. Okay, I always like to set it so when it opens, this will just move just a little bit. So it's got that brush to it. I don't know if you can see that or not. But this one, when it closes, it flexes just a little bit. I'm actually going to turn that switch in just a little bit. There. There goes my solder. There we go. Now I can get oh yeah. I don't know if you can see that now, where this inside one moves just a little bit, so now every time the switch opens and closes, it will clean itself. It's like kind of like self-cleaning mechanism built into it. Alright, thanks for watching. Like the video, give us a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Let me know how we're doing. Like us on Facebook at Mark's Basement Arcade. Subscribe to us at Mark's Basement Arcade. Have a good day. Share it with your friends if you thought it was helpful to you. And you can always drop me a message on Facebook and let me know how I'm doing. Alright, thank you. Have a good day. Bye.